going?
You too.
Dereck, one thing that Coach Kidd said is he said that all of y'all did a great job of protecting one another. Could you talk about the physicality of tonight's game and y'all standing up for your teammates?
You know, I feel like these last two games have definitely set the tone of physicality. You know, the officials aren't really calling any calls, and they're just going to let us play. So it's really going to come down to whatever team comes out and throw the first punch and is able to take a punch and throw another back. Just being able to try to be the aggressor the whole night.
Dereck, you guys had 10 dunks in the first half, 13, I think, overall for the game. What was working out there with the Mavs, especially from Kyrie?
Just trusting one another. You know, everybody knows that if anybody steps up to them, me and Gaff are chilling behind them ready for the lob. So we're just being able to know that trust and chemistry is really going to take us all the way.
Dereck, speaking of those lobs, when you finish one of those and you hear the entire American Airlines Center kind of go crazy, what is that feeling like when you're kind of walking back down the court?
That's real hard to describe. You know, there's not a lot of feelings that can really be up to that standard. Everybody in the arena was yelling, and it just felt like everybody in there wanted us to win as much as the whole team did. So just being able to have that amount of energy behind us just makes us want to play that much harder.
Dereck, I wanted to ask, I know we talked about physicality, but Luka, the way he kind of just ran over when things were getting out of hand to stop things, and then when he got pushed, he walked away. What does that do just as a leader in that type of scenario?
You know, it shows how he's locked in. He's locked into winning. He's not locked into the nastiness of what can go on in the game. You know, there's going to be a lot of times where people are going to try to get him out of his comfort zone, going to try to get him out of his rhythm, or to try to get into his head. And all he needs to do is know that his teammates got his back. We're going to step in and make sure he cool out and make sure he goes back on the other side of the play.
In the first half, when Harden was on, had that little run of threes, Luka went to the bench and called out to the coaches, "Give me Harden."
Yep.
What does that say about the defensive mentality that it seems like you all have adopted as a unit in this series?
I think we all can see it. You know, I think we all see that when we're on the defensive side, there's a different look in everybody's eye. It's like being aggressive and being the aggressor, even though that they have the ball. You know, we know what they're good at, we know what they're bad at, and we're just trying to be able to put them in spots where really hard spots where they either don't like the shot they're in, or is a really contested shot.
Dereck, tonight, the first two games were kind of light for you scoring. Tonight you're able to go for double figures off the bench. What do you think clicked for you this evening?
Just being able to have good teammates to find me when I'm open. You know, there's going to be people who's going to step up and try to stop Kyrie and Luka, and that's where I can just feed off of. You know, either dump offs, lobs, or putbacks. There's just ways that I can affect the game.
Dereck, we obviously know Sunday's going to be another intense battle. What level of mental focus is it going to take you guys to get the job done on Sunday?
Just being able to, a lot, honestly, being able to be poised. You know, they're great players. They're going to go on runs. They're going to go on streaks where they make points where we can't make anything. And we got to be able to be together. We got to be able to know that no matter what's going on the court, we got to figure out what we need to do and execute.
Dereck, when you think back to the start of the year, could you win a game like this without hitting a bunch of threes, without Luka and Kyrie having huge point totals, one that's based off the defense, off the physicality?
It would definitely make the game a lot rougher. You know, I'm definitely not going to say that we want to win the game, but it would be a dogfight. I feel like each game in this playoff series is going to be a dogfight, and so on and so forth. So being able to know that if it's going to be a fight, we're going to come out swinging.
Dereck, now that PJ's been on the team for a couple months now, and tonight, super physical, he was involved in a couple altercations, he ended up getting ejected. What does PJ kind of being a dog do for y'all as a team?
It rouses up. He's like the legs and he's like the mouth of the team. Being able to know that he got our back, he's talking on defense, and as soon as we're in transition, he's running the floor. You know, he's one of our, if not the best defensive player we have. So when he's on their best their best offensive player, and he's getting it in their head, he's making it difficult for them, that just makes everybody else want to step up and be able to play harder.
Dereck, do you think this level of defense is sustainable night after night?
Hope. It's really just going to come down to us being disciplined, us being locked into each play. Because that's what the playoffs is. It's possession by possession.
Yeah. What does it say about being able to overcome his tough first two games, overcome the back spasms? And he had a couple highlights out there, especially at that block on Paul George.
It just shows his grit. It just shows how much he wants to win. You know, some people are banged up, some people are going through things off the court, but whenever it comes to us being in the locker room, us being together, that's whenever we're all together. We all trust one another, we all have a lot of great chemistry, and we're being able to know that we're going out there and we're playing for something. We're not going out playing out for each other.
Can you talk about the enthusiasm and the effort and the energy that you guys exuded tonight? The whole arena was electric. How did you feed off of that, and how will you ride that wave of momentum?
Just being able to know that we got one another. You know, no matter if the arena's full, if the arena's empty, we're playing basketball. We go out there, we have each other's backs. We go out there and make sure that no matter what's going on, no matter who has a run or not, we're going to be able to know that we got to do what we got to do. We got to play defense, we got to get out, we got to run, and we got to execute on the offensive end. That just comes down to simple basketball.
Derek, we know that Tyson Chandler and you have been at the hip pretty much the whole season. How much has he helped you in your first playoff series?
Words can't even describe how much it's helped me. Being able to know that I got to focus on the court whenever there's so much things going on off the court. That's kind of the hardest part. I love playing basketball each day, but it's hard to wake up whenever there's a lot of things going on in the off-court life. But he's been able to help me keep my head on my two shoulders, help me stay focused, and he's just someone I can go and talk to no matter what the situation is. And he's definitely been a humongous help.